Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. So it's that time again when we look at the portfolio. So before I do that, I would like you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Apparently, according to YouTube, there's a lot of you that watch the videos but you're not subscribed, so it will be really helpful if you could do that. Like the videos as well, share with your family and friends and so on. If you don't know me, my name is Mahmoud. My plan here is to help out brothers and sisters out there who would like to invest a Sharia compliant portfolio of stocks, ETFs and so on. I'm sharing my journey. What you see right now in front of you is my actual portfolio. I do have two portfolios, one for the family which I do not share, so because it has my wife and kids and stocks that we buy as a family, as well as I have this portfolio. So this is the one I've been sharing. My plan is very simple. I like to buy quality Sharia compliant companies and hold them for a very long time. I am quite new in terms of investing side of things. I mean, I've been doing this for now 3 years, give or take, and I've learned so much, and I just want to share that with you guys. I know some of you have got tons of experience when it comes to investing. Some of you are very new, so we are all learning together. We are in a journey together. And what I normally like to do is share what I'm doing, and at the same time sometimes I'll bring the a couple of stocks to look at and so on. That's not a financial advice. That's kind of giving you an idea of some of the companies that Sharia compliant that are out there that you could potentially add to your portfolios. Do a little bit more research and so on. Every penny that you see here is money that I worked hard for, because I have a full-time job, I have a family, I basically save as much as I can. My plan is to, InshaAllah, one day be financially free from going to 9-to-5 jobs, so I can do other things with my family, travel the world, whatever else that I want to do, InshaAllah. So it's very simple. Genuinely, all I'm doing is sharing my journey. I'm not here to flex or anything like that. This £67,000 is literally, apart from my fund that I have and a little bit of money that I'm saving for other projects, is basically everything that I have. So alhamdulillah, I'm trying my best to kind of be frugal a little bit, but at the same time think about investing. But obviously we do have the odd holidays with the family and so on. But make sure that I make every single month, basically I try to minimize my cost as much as I can, so I can invest more while I'm still 35. Hopefully in 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, I wouldn't have to do as much of basically being this kind of frugal life. So inshallah, we'll see what happens, but that's the journey. That's where we're heading. So what I want to do today is, first of all, two things. I'm going to show you the entire portfolio, the new additions, and then what I'm planning to do, because I'm trying to change a few things about the portfolio. Majority of the companies that are in this portfolio are basically dividend paying companies, and I do like dividends, so I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about the rental property, and that's what we will start with today. So I do own a 1-bedroom apartment in the UK, and that basically gives me about over £500. After the management fee, I get £448.80 every single month. Alhamdulillah, this month there was no repairs. At one point they actually said, the management team said, you know what, there might be something that we need to fix, but then they realized it was the basic responsibility of the freeholder, because I am what's called a leasehold, right? So the freeholder's responsibility to sort that one out. So alhamdulillah, I didn't have to pay anything. So I get this money. What happens to this money? It goes to my family portfolio. So every single month since March 2022, every penny that I've been paid from the property, I've actually put into another basically ISA account for the family, and that's now up 9%. So every single month I've put that money in, and then before all that, I think there was £1,000 that I've added, and then top of everything else, it's actually gone up about 9%, because a lot of the companies that I bought at the time were very, very cheap. Now the majority of them gone up. So yeah, so alhamdulillah, that's the plan. That's what I'm going to continue doing, because what I didn't want to do is, you bought this property and all of a sudden every single penny, basically you don't know where it went. So I opened that account as soon as we started basically getting paid, and every single month it directly goes into that account this much. Normally I'll try to round it up to 500 every single month, and then basically buy a quality company just like what we're doing here. So this month that's what I've been paid from my rental property, plus the dividends. So the dividends was not a lot. January is quite low, and I'll show you some of the companies that paid me in a second, but January is normally quite low. So only £52.76, which is absolutely fine. So overall a passive income of 501 basically pounds is actually quite a lot more than what I used to get, say, about a year and a bit ago. So alhamdulillah, it's growing, it's heading the right direction. That's the most important thing, and that's why I'm trying to buy quality companies that pay dividends, so I can increase this income, and inshallah in the long run own a couple of more properties so that I can get that rental income. So if majority of my income basically can cover my expenses, that will be absolutely amazing. That's the goal, inshallah, in the long run. So now let's have a look at the buys and sells. So the usual buys and sells. So you can pause the video to have a look at the whole thing. I'm not going to go through all of them, but this month I was actually quite happy with what I've done in terms of I've only made one sale, and that was basically PPG Industrials. This is a paint company. I've had them in my portfolio for about almost 2 years now. It's done nothing, to be honest with you. Now the market has been down, but it has done nothing in terms of dividend. It's not great, and I wasn't planning to add to it, and I will talk about that in a bit. So I wasn't ready to add to it. I wasn't getting enough dividends, so I thought, you know what, this money could potentially be basically used somewhere else. So I took that money, so I've sold this company, and I end up buying automatic data processing, okay, which is a new stock to the portfolio, and I've talked about this a few weeks ago. So right now I bought, at the time when we did the last video, I had 1 share. Since then I bought 9 more shares. So I spent almost £1,700 on this, and that will give me a dividend of basically £31. This company was giving me, I think, £25 for the owning 1,354 pounds worth of shares. So this gives me a little bit more than that, and I do like this company better in terms of growth side of it, in terms of dividend growth side of it, and in terms of the monopoly, for example, right? So it's kind of, there's not that many companies that are similar to automatic data processing, and if you would like me to do a whole video, I'll do that at some point later. But yeah, so that's the new addition. The rest of the companies I've had them in my portfolio. So I added to Unilever, I have the RB, S&P and Global. I only bought 1 share, but I will be buying more of this company in the next few weeks. In fact, I'm buying more of Union Pacific and S&P and Global. They're both quality companies. This one I love it because it has a very low debt, okay, and I will talk about that in a bit. And at the same time, they are dividend growth company, so I like that. I bought Segro, about 11 shares of that company. It was quite cheap at the time, and so it went up since then. Visa, I added to it for the first time in I don't know for how many months. It went down quite a bit, so I bought 1.2 shares. Public Storage, almost bought 1 share. And then I also added to the Islamic ETF. I bought 1.5 shares, £48. So that just adds a little bit of dividends as well to the portfolio. I also, basically Salesforce went down quite a bit about the beginning of the month, beginning of January. So I bought 1 more share of that company. Cisco just put 2 shares, and Colgate went down 7% the other day when they reported their earnings. So that was a good opportunity. I think I got it for $71. I think my average at the time was 76 or whatever it was. So a little bit averaged it down, and obviously quality company. I like the company, predictable kind of business, if you like. So there you have it. That's the companies that I've actually, the shares that I bought. Majority of these companies I had them before. So that was £3,772.55 that's actually spent this month. Some of that money obviously came from here, and in terms of dividend yield, that was 2.2 on average, and that added almost to £80 on in terms of dividend to the portfolio, which is quite nice. I want to grow this number, and I'm going to continue investing in the portfolio. The dividends that are being paid this month was £52.76 that you've seen it already. And obviously last year, every single year, that dividend number is actually being grown up. That total has been growing every single year. So inshallah, we'll see what happens in 2023. But we are, we started the year better than how we started last 2 years. So alhamdulillah is a very good start. We'll see how it goes from now on. Now let's have a look at the portfolio. Like I said to you already, what I want to do is I want to talk about a couple of things. So I'm going to give you the general overview, and then you can pause the video wherever, but I'm going to talk about only a few companies, right? So the plan going forward is to buy companies that have two things, right? I'm looking for. Obviously, we're looking about the dividend growth and all of that stuff is fine. But what I want to do is I don't want to be selling and buying companies, right? New companies, if you like. I want to keep this portfolio maybe 35 maximum. So that's give us another 6 companies, whatever, to add to the portfolio. And I do have a short list of companies that I would like to add to. But generally, I want to buy companies that have a very low debt, so I don't have to worry about from Sharia compliance side of things. Every single company that I have will obviously sell business that are halal and so on. But the most important thing is the debt level. So if the debt level is low, then I'm happy to buy that company. Okay, that's the first one. And the second one is I've been looking at the whole portfolio, and I want to see where, for example, when I sold PPG Industrials, one of the reasons was I couldn't see myself buying more right now because it seemed a little bit overvalued, and I only had £1,350 worth of shares. So I thought that money is not doing anything right now. So I'd rather sell that out of that and build a better, position in the companies that I feel like I can buy more of right now. So what I'm trying to do now is look at the companies that I own in the portfolio. And if it's about £1,500 or so, sell it and then buy more of the companies that I think will be better for me in the long run, that has a higher, basically lower debt and so on. And the companies that I'm looking at include S&P Global, it includes UPS, includes Visa, there's loads of different companies, Qualcomm and so on. But obviously I have to buy them at the right prices. I'm not just going to buy them. But in the long run, that's what I'm going to start looking at. Companies that have a lower debt, because then I don't have to worry about from Sharia compliance side of things, like I said. But generally, that's what I'm looking for, like companies like Broadcom and so on. So inshallah, that's the plan. I'm still buying a bit more of companies like ASML, Air Product and Chemicals. I'm not going to touch. Automatic Data Processing, definitely continue buying if it carries on coming down a bit. I think it's for the month it's down about 5%. So we'll see how this month goes. If it comes down a bit more, I will be buying, because right now I'm literally 0.2% up. So I will be buying more of that company because I would like to own at least 5% make this company 5% of my overall portfolio. But the one I'm definitely going to dollar cost average going forward every single week from now on, for a while, inshallah, is this company, S&P Global. It's a quality company. It has a very low debt, and they are dividend, basically aristocrat, I believe, and hopefully will continue to do that. The other company is Public Storage. Again, another REIT that has a low debt, which is quite nice. So I'm planning to buy more of that as well. Now, let's talk about 2 other companies. I will be doing a video very soon to just kind of summarize 3M and the situation with J&J. Am I selling J&J? Definitely not. The situation doesn't look great. The fact that, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there is a legal situation going on. I will go more details into that. Maybe next week I'll talk about the legal side of it and but I'm going to talk about right now what I'm doing. I'm not going to sell anything, although I'm up a little bit. This is one of the companies I would like to hold in my portfolio for, another 10-15 years. And for that reason, I have no plan to sell this company yet. So based on what I've seen so far, I'm ready to sell 3M the moment it hits that basically 20% up. From now on, I am a seller. And the reason is because I'm sick and tired of the legal situation. J&J is slightly different, and they could potentially, what they're talking about is the payout to the people that are suing the company. They're saying about 2 billion to 4 billion in comparison to, God knows how many billions this company will end up paying if it basically can't sort this out as soon as they can, right? So yeah, so that's the plan in the long run, inshallah. These are the companies that are on my portfolio. You can pause the video, have a look at it. So yeah, the other company I would like to also get rid of is VF Corporation. As soon as it hits that, I don't know, 32% or whatever it is. This company is definitely not Sharia compliant right now, but I don't want to sell it in this. Maybe I might sell it with a bit of a loss, but right now it's just too expensive, basically too much. So I'm going to leave it there for a while and see what happens. But yeah, that's the overall portfolio. You can pause it anytime you want. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm going to continue to dollar cost average into the portfolio. Like I've always said to you guys, I've got £5,000 to invest basically until my ISA account is maxed. I'm definitely going to do this because there's another video that I'm planning to do inshallah soon to talk about ISA account and what's happening in the UK in terms of taxes, in terms of what the conservatives are trying to do to ISA owners, which is, I hope it never happens, but I will talk about more. Basically, I'll give you more information inshallah soon. This is something that they've mentioned recently that could potentially ruin our plans for ISA accounts going forward. So I'm definitely going to max it this year, see what happens. So what am I doing with the overall portfolio? The account that I'm using is Trading 212, and I love Trading 212 for the simplicity, for low cost, and all of these things. But once this portfolio gets to 100,000, I think I'm going to move on to a different brokerage, whether Interactive Brokers or another company. We'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to continue investing in this portfolio. Once it hits 100,000, then I think I'm going to move on, because I just want to diversify. I just don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. God forbid anything happens to this one. Although we're covered for up to 85,000. 85,000 pounds, okay, you never know what might happen. God forbid, hopefully nothing bad will happen. But yeah, so if you would like to subscribe to the channel, if you haven't already, please do so. If you want to get a free share or 2 shares, whatever they're saying these days, and for Trading 212, go ahead and basically use the link on the description. You'll get 1 free share. I'll get 1 free share. Happy days. If it's non-Sharia compliant, sell it, give it the money to sadaqah, okay, to charity and so on. Anyway, I'm going to stop the video there. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.